Tacos. Tacos and pizza.
So, let's talk about what's going on.
Oh, we're on.
Yes.
Hi.
Let's talk about what's going on.
Okay.
In the 2020 election. The world wants to know.
Yeah.
People keep saying, Rosie, Joe, what do you think is happening in this Democratic primary? Donald Trump being racist and shit and all that stuff. What do you think?
Well, 100% he's racist. Yeah. There's no way around that. My only issue with people talking about his racism is not that it's not like an issue. People can talk about how he's racist all the time. Please do, because he is. My only issue is when people say that he's just doing it like for his base. I'm like, no, he is literally racist. Like it's not just. It's
definitely both.
It is both. It's not, but it's not just for votes. Like he is like a crazy racist dude, and always has been.
Wasn't his dad in the KKK?
I don't know.
That's like I think that's real.
I don't know, but like it's very easy to look up his like record on racial bullshit, and he's always been like an evil like almost like a cartoon character of like an evil rich racist person, and that's a fact. Yeah, can't argue with that. Okay, who are you liking? Who are you liking to beat his nasty ass?
My two.
Yeah. You can do more than two if you want. I think I have more than two.
I have three.
Okay. Let's do it.
Warren.
Yeah.
Get him. Because when she talks, there's like, she like, I don't know, like she has like a fiery energy. She's always like, I'm gonna fuck those bankers up. I feel like she doesn't say that, but the way she talks, like I just see like an energy, like I'm gonna fuck some people up. And there's a piece of me that like sits and watches, like, yeah, let's go get them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Bernie Sanders is great. Like I like Bernie Sanders too. I voted for him in the primary. And he started this shit. Yeah. He's the OG. He started this whole movement. People like to shit on Bernie Sanders, but without him, you wouldn't have people like Warren, right? She, if anything, in 2016, she held out to even though she's like very liberal, she didn't want to support Bernie. She kind of like played the fence and be like, oh well, you know, I'm gonna wait. And then she supported Clinton.
Like, I think the purest pedal.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of other good people too, but he's like the one that I guess I trust the most to be like,
I agree with that.
You have hated all these bad things for so long that I like actually feel like once you get there, you're actually gonna do stuff. Yeah. And I think Warren will too, but like just because he's just had a longer record of being exactly the same forever, that it's like that is something that is so interesting in politics, to be the same forever, that it's like, please, like it's such a missed opportunity that he didn't win last time, but like it's like obviously this is his last chance. He'll never be able to again, and that's why like I want him to have it so bad, because he is the OG, and I'm just I just want you to have that.
Yeah, I feel like he'd be a one-term president, but like the most productive one-term president. Yeah, I feel like he would get in there and they would try to change him, because I think once you become president, that's when they change you.
They'll fucking kill him.
They show you what's really going on in Area 51.
They hate him.
Yeah, I feel like you start learning all those secrets, and then all the corporate interests, they take over, and it's like, well, you know, you campaign on this, but here's the way it's really done, and then you start talking to like the Bezos and the fucking Sheldon Adelsons and all the rich fucks out there that actually really control the world, and then you try to like still tell your base like, oh, well, we're doing stuff, but you know, it's harder to move. I guess it's harder. Yeah. But I think Bernie would come in and be like, fuck you, we're doing it the way I've been saying I want to do it for the past 40 years. Mm-hmm. And then he would get voted out because all the money would go somewhere else. They wouldn't want to, even the party wouldn't want to support him anymore. But I feel like he could do a lot of good change.
I think the government's going to kill him. No, I don't. Well, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean,
someone will try.
I mean, they killed him last time.
Hey, you know the Panama Papers? Remember the Panama Papers? When we found out that there was a bunch of like rich fucks that were controlling the whole world, and they're all involved in like corruption. Yes. The person who leaked it was murdered. Not recently. You just didn't know it.
Oh yeah, who was that person?
Yeah.
Who was that person? Do you know?
I don't know.
Name?
I don't know. The
name. I can't
but
Google.
like
I'm on
that
airplane.
shows you like that's how powerful these people are. That person was fucking murdered
by Hillary Clinton.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
All right, who else do you like? You like Warren, Bernie?
Warren, Bernie, and I gotta say, energy-wise, not policy-wise, I like Buttigieg energy-wise. The guy's
what about his energy?
He's just so confident and calm. I think I like him just because as a performer, I would love to like be as confident as he is on stage and stuff. And like, I just want to have. He has like a BDE.
He seemed like really timid in the debates, though.
It's hard to get your piece. I mean, you can't. It's judging by one performance.
Yeah.
I don't know, but every interview I watch with him and stuff, he just seems like he actually answers questions. He doesn't. He feels a little more on script than he did before. But I don't know.
Do you trust him?
I don't know. Do I trust him? I don't trust. I trust him as much as I trust someone like a Barack Obama. Okay. Like Barack Obama seems like he is a politician. Mm-hmm. But I like Barack Obama as a person.
Yeah.
But he's just a politician, and he's like a center-left politician. I feel like Buttigieg will be like that center-left politician like Barack Obama was, where it just feels like, oh, this is nice to have someone who can speak in full sentences. He doesn't have that crazy energy like Elizabeth Warren, like, I'm going to fuck some people up.
I love that.
I love it,
anything
man.
That I think I'm over calm. I think he like,
who?
That's why I don't even notice calm. I'm just like over calm.
Overcome.
Like, I am over
I thought you said
the idea of calm. So it's like,
in
that way, Buttigieg bores me because he is so
I get
calm.
That. Yeah, calm.
Like, I think I need like a crazy person like warning us about aliens to be like, I need like a.
Well, we got that now though.
No,
that's the thing. Like
it's
he's
different.
Not. You want to.
It's different because the things that Trump warns us about are like fake and like mostly racist. The things that Bernie would be warning us about are things that literally happened.
He
like
straight up
literally happened. So like, yes, please keep warning us. Like things that he predicted of like how the economy is and how like all businesses run now like actually happened. So please be the president and try to like mitigate some of the fucked up shit that has happened.
Yeah. Bernie Sanders is like that guy on like, let's say there's like, you're on an island with a volcano on it and he's just screaming, the volcano is going to erupt and kill us all. And then the whole town is like, well, let's first form a committee and let's discuss what could be happening. He's like, no. That guy's always like, the billionaires control everything. You have to take on the billionaires first before you can do anything.
Yep.
He's like, and they asked him, well, how are you going to do it? How are you going to make Medicare for all? He's like, the only way we're going to do this if we all rise up and demand it. And that is so true, but people read that as like, oh, no, he doesn't have an actual answer of how he's going to do it. Like, no, that is the answer. The answer is you're going to have to do work.
Yeah.
His whole campaign is about, this can only work if there's a movement that does work. And honestly, that's like, it's such a hard truth that people just can't process in their brains. Like, he has no answers. No, he has an answer that you don't like. And that answer is you need to do something. And as a collective, we all need to actually demand it. And that is the actual answer. It's the right answer that we don't want to be the right answer. And we want to have someone saying like, no, we can do this by if we cut money from these certain things and da-da-da, like these Ross Perot numbers having these graphs and shit. It's an old reference, but like he was big into graphs and like saying, "Well, cut from da 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 da." But like, no, it's just everybody needs to demand it. If everyone votes and demands it, then the system is malleable. It just requires us to move it.
Yeah, and I think that I think that because we're so used to how things have been for so long, with mostly with money and corruption, that like he seems radical, but he's not at all. Like there's nothing radical about Bernie. Like if anything, he should be just like this extremely basic politician, but because things got so bad, like he's considered radical. But because I feel like for whatever reason, he's the most popular and known politician that is his like brand to be against and to fight against it. And so because someone did get popular with that message, I feel like it's such a missed opportunity not to have that person go all the way and be the president, because even though I like other politicians that are running, I will never be able to I'm not a Bernie bro. Like, I'm going to vote for whoever gets it.
Same.
But there's never going to be a moment where I can really trust what they actually want to do, or like what they wanted to do before he moved the needle and made it like mandatory that certain things have to be talked about and certain things have to be part of your platform to even get far in the Democratic Party now. And because he did so much of that, I'm like, well, he's moved it so much, just fucking, I don't mean this literally, give it to him, but I'm just like, just give it to him, just fucking vote for him. And he could definitely beat Trump.
I honestly think...
And he would have beaten Trump the last time,
yes.
I believe.
But here's the problem. The Democratic Party is not an actual liberal party.
I know.
It's not a left-wing party. It's a moderate, socially liberal, but...
It's Republicans, they like gay people 5 years sooner.
Yeah, it's 90s Republican ideas.
Yeah.
In regards to, like, actual proposals. But, like, socially... they'll somewhat be liberal.
Yeah.
There actually is no left-wing party, right? There really isn't. And this whole socialism thing, the word that gets thrown around a lot by fellow Democrats to scare people about the left, just shows you how much a center-right, if not full-right country this is. That's the problem. So you have people like Bernie Sanders, who has no place. He has no party to back him. Even the media, this whole thing of like it's a left-wing media, this is a for-profit juggernaut that is, their real interest is only making money and profiting. So they'll back Bernie Sanders and they'll back AOC. And they'll say, like, oh, Trump is saying all these mean things about them. But then when it comes to policies, watch how they defend AOC in regards to, like, racist statements Trump says. Yeah. They'll say, like, condemn these statements. These, yes, we can have a debate about socialism. That's fine. We can. They always say, like, policy-wise, we can have the debate, which is kind of true. But they literally always say, like, we don't agree with, we don't, almost like we knock down the political beliefs, but like they always keep it on identity politics instead. Yeah.
I think that when the average person gets all their news from a conglomerate, like the three that own the entire country, that isn't left wing. It's one thing. It's money. And money, I guess, isn't really a party. But if it is one, it's the Republican Party. But not, I don't even know if I believe what I just said. It's not anything. I think it's just money is not either party, but I'll say what it's not. It's not liberal.
Well, money has no bias. Money's like a gun. The money doesn't kill, like, you know, the gun could be used to protect, it could be used to kill. I don't know if this is a great example.
But do you know what I mean?
But
like, what it is might not be
it's a weapon. It's
representative of the Republican Party or the Democratic Party, but it's not representative of liberal ideals.
The government is just
so the liberal bias makes me violent. It just makes me so angry because it's just not. Who are you funded for? Who are you funded by?
Well, ever watch like a Sunday morning talk show? Like Meet the Press or Face the Nation and stuff. It's so funny to listen to like these journalists talk about like, well, there's people in Iowa and all this stuff. When they say that, like, oh, these voters and all this stuff, they're not actually talking about people. They're talking about figureheads that direct what they like direct the conversation. So it's really about like who are these like big donors and stuff that make the people make the people vote for who they want to vote for. Mm-hmm. It's about talking about donors. It's like, oh, these people in Iowa, they think a certain way because there'll be a conglomerate or something in Iowa or like even like a union or something, but they don't actually talk about individual people. Yeah. I feel like it's upper class people talking about other upper class people.
Yes.
And that's really, it's their game that we just have to play into. And
Yes.
Bernie Sanders is saying, like, no, the ruled class, the class under the ruling class, the oppressed class, needs to rise up and say, we actually have the power.
Yeah.
But nobody wants to actually hear that because they want to just tweet. They want to act like, I sent out my tweet against Trump, so I've done my part. I have that blue check mark.
Yeah.
So I'm an influencer. I feel like I have power. So when I say something on Twitter, I say something on Facebook, that counts as something. No, you've done nothing.
Yeah, and it's very hard to have like a role model or a leader in the fight because if you are looking to TV to give you those leaders, I mean, so journalists, they have to sell their stories. So because it's not their fault, I'm not blaming them, but because of the way even just that system is set up, the news is going to be kind of weird. Like it's not going to be, like I would do anything for some type of news organization that is funded in a different way other than views, other than clicks, views, whatever.
I think like the BBC and PBS, those are state, like you as a citizen through your taxes pay.
Yeah.
Even like a C-SPAN's not really news. It's kind of like a
But like about
camera?
everything. I feel like they do like more special interest.
Well, here's the thing. There
stories.
was a law that got
Is there something
taken down.
You should tweet at us.
Tweet at us
if there is something I should be watching because I can't deal.
I like PBS, but it still feels like it's kind of like they bring on, here's a left-wing person and a right-wing person, and it's like David Brooks and Mark Shields, which are like, it feels like those are ruling class liberals and conservatives. It's not real, actual left-wing and right-wing people.
Yeah, I watch the View almost every day at night. It airs during the day, but like I watch it at night.
YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know that like the world would perceive it as like a liberal show, but it's like every panelist on there is like a literal millionaire. And so if those, okay, so I like the show. I like the people on the show, you know, some of them. But if you are looking to them for help with your ideas or like for them to relay information to you about what's going on with the politicians and what's happening with the election and stuff, it's being filtered through a person who's a literal millionaire. And in some cases, like, some of them have been millionaires for like years and years and years and years and years.
A lot of cases, a lot of these people are born millionaires. A lot of these TV pundits, the reason why they have so, but like even in cable news,
a fly went in my throat.
A lot of these people, the reason why they're in the position they're in is because they had access of wealth from a very young age.
And so it's so fucked up and skewed because, like, listen, look, I love Joy Behar as much as the next crazy person, but like, she is a millionaire, so it's like you're getting the information filtered through a millionaire's perspective, which I'm not saying like if you become a millionaire suddenly you don't have a brain, but like you are part of a system and a world and a worldview. Like you can't escape. Once you're a millionaire, that's who you're with, and you can't really escape that worldview. Just like like you wouldn't expect someone else to be able to easily escape their bubble. So why are we trusting millionaires who are giving us the news to be able to escape their bubble, which is whatever.
You know, it's so funny.
Media bullshit.
There was a big thing against Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez where they were like, what does she know? She was just a bartender 1 year ago. And that line is so funny because it's like, dude, what do you know? You have never held a job that is like, you've never had the experience of being working class.
Yeah.
So how can you create laws and stuff that affect working class people? How can you empathize with the working class if you've never been it?
Yeah.
There's majority of the people in Congress are, even in public office, are lawyers.
Yeah.
Majority of the country isn't lawyers. Where are the teachers? Where are the engineers? Where are the scientists?
Yeah.
Where are the sanitation workers? Where are those people?
Right.
But it's a people that are silver-tongued that can say things to get your vote. or they know how to like speak one way but do something else.
Yeah.
Hey, you said something funny about like it's Joy Behar's great, but she's a millionaire. There was a saying about like 24-hour like news networks, like opinion pieces and stuff like that, and that it's billionaires telling millionaires what to say to middle class people.
Yeah. Yes,
it's basically
that's what it
is. Yeah.
And yeah, it's just like, and there's everyone on the show brings up good points and everything. It's not like I think they're all dumbasses. It's just that they, I don't know. It's just like their day-to-day life is just so different, and it would be hard for. It would just be hard for them, I think, to, even if they have empathy, even if they're smart, even if they're whatever, I think it would be very hard for them to connect to issues that most people have, because they haven't felt that in a really long time.
Yeah.
And so obviously they have issues too, like everyone has issues, whatever, that's being human. But money is a different thing, and they don't experience that, and that is basically what politics is. Like, it is all about like how to spend money. So they, in that way, should be the last people we should be listening to, because they have a different relationship to money.
Also, they're on a network TV show, and that network TV show has sponsors.
Oh,
so
yeah.
they literally cannot say, even if they
God.
had opinions that they wanted to say, that if so, let's say they wanted to say something against one of their sponsors being Ford
They
or
all
something.
fucking stan Joe Biden. Like, they ride his cock every episode. That tells me all I need to know.
Yeah.
Sorry. What were you saying?
It's just that it's through a filter of like what they can and can't say because of corporate sponsorships.
Yeah.
Even all these comedy shows you guys watch, that are clapter shows, they're not really like
Full House.
Not like, no, clapter as in like the joke is like Donald Trump sucks and everyone goes woo.
Yes!
Like, it's not really like a laughing joke. It's more like to make you clap. It's called clapter.
Oh,
so like
okay.
a clapter show, it sounds like they're speaking for the people, but really that's through the filter of watch those commercials. See if they say anything bad about any of those companies in the commercials.
Everything is creepy. Everything is creepy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they will never, at least the way the system is right now, I don't foresee it ever changing where they'll actually have a true take on like left-wing politics.
Yeah.
A true, we'll never hear an actual real opinion, an unbiased opinion on like how left-wing politics can help the country. All we hear is socialism. All we hear is like, well, we don't want to be extreme here.
But how will we pay for that?
How will we pay for it? By the way, let's do a tax cut. Here's the whole thing. The 9/11 thing that's going on with the first responders is the grossest fucking thing in the world.
What's happening with it right now?
So they can't pass a bill to pay for any like the healthcare for 9/11.
Is someone blocking it?
Right now, it's what's Rand Paul.
He's blocking it?
He's saying,
why?
How are we going to pay for it? That argument. But yet when it comes to like tax cuts for the rich, that question's not asked. It's so weird. It's so fucking weird to think like never forget. I remember like, how united the country was, how these are actual heroes, support the troops, support first responders. These people, when you call 911, they show up. But yet, all of these years later, when it comes to like, it's been proven that these illnesses came from their 9/11 related illnesses, cleanup or whatever. And these people should be having their medical bills being paid off. They should be having their like mental, if they want to see a psychiatrist or anything like that, they should get their fucking dental. If they all wanted to get veneers, they should be able to all have beautiful white smiling faces.
If they want it.
If they want it. If it's, even if it's, yes, it goes against your politics, I think there should be exceptions.
Yeah.
And if 9/11 isn't an exception, what is an exception?
Well, it's just because...
What will ever be it?
Because everything is so phony. And it's not like... This shit is so infuriating because I remember after 9/11 and, you know, we were about to go to war. And I remember even, like, all the Democrats voted for it and blah, blah, blah. And it was like, if you weren't for it, you were a person who didn't support our troops. If you weren't for it, you were against it, yeah. That's how it was phrased in the media and in life, which was incredible. Like, that is an incredible leap. But it was like literally accepted. Like, now people kind of joke about like how absurd that was, but at the time it was accepted. And I remember in my high school, like, there was a national like walkout day, and what is the word?
Walked out?
I did, but organized. I couldn't think of organized. I organized it at my school, and like the press came and everything, and it was like kind of a thing, and I got in a lot of trouble, blah blah blah. And
which is funny. That you got in trouble for protesting, which is such an American thing.
I know. I got suspended for a couple of days, but which was fine. I got to stay home. I don't give a fuck. Joke's on you, motherfucker. But you know, and we like obviously people weren't nice about it, like the shit they said to me, and it was like it's very ironic to me that how in life the troops, how people sort of put them on a pedestal of being heroes and blah blah blah. Which I am not. I have nothing.
I agree with.
It's not going where you think.
I have military in my family, and
this isn't going where you think.
Yeah.
For me, I would never minimize what that is and what that means. Mm-hmm. But I think it's very important to not like advertise that 24/7, like how the Republicans have claimed them all. Because they don't give a shit. So stop advertising this job to people where they're going to come home and be heroes when you're not going to do shit for them. And I'm not just blaming the Republicans. I'm blaming people in power is what I mean by Republicans.
It's put up or shut up.
Not just them. Yeah. And so I just try to be neutral about whether they're fucking heroes or not, because no one's gonna help you when you come back, and it's going to be bullshit, and it's all smoke and mirrors just to get you to go and do the work for people who are millionaires. So I just kind of like to keep that shit on the down low, because I don't want you to feel like you're a hero to enlist, because I want you to know the whole the whole situation. I don't want you to be. Do you know what I'm trying to say? This is very long-winded.
I think if you are going to claim, you definitely, if we are going to claim we have 100% the troops back, we're supporting the troops, you can say it, but you actually have to do it. Mm-hmm. And by do it means you have to vote for people in office that actually support the troops. Mm-hmm. Anytime, I believe that when you enlist to be in the military, healthcare for life.
Yeah.
Anytime, anything, if you get a hangnail in Afghanistan, you have the VA should be the best form of healthcare this country provides.
Yeah.
It blows my mind. My cousin served, and he had like a back issue, and he talked to me about like how he had issues with like getting paid and that should not exist.
Right.
If we're sending people off to actually fight, because there's never a delay on sending people to fight.
Right.
When we have to send people to fight, just like if there's first responders. These are another form of first responders. It happens. Sending the sons and daughters off to war is the easiest part for them. When it comes to paying for people to have health care, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That they say support the troops, but it's just insane lip service, and these people are still in office. Mm-hmm. It blows my mind. I don't understand. And again, politically I disagree with a lot of members, even in my family, that have served and all that stuff, and they're more conservative than I am, and that's fine. That's First Amendment's rights, and that's great. I love to have these conversations. But it just blows my mind how everyone that served isn't like, dude, or not everyone that served, everyone that hasn't served is like, hey, we have to give these people health care. We just have to make it work.
Yeah.
You know, if you turn 65 and you get health care from Social Security, even if it's not the best system in the world, if we allow that and old people are fine with that, but they're not fine with giving someone who's 25, missing an arm, who has back problems, who has mental problems, PTSD, the biggest illness you can get from serving overseas. Mental issues.
Because everybody just uses people. I mean, politicians literally walk over
it's gross.
Homeless people's bodies in D.C. that have served in wars.
Yeah.
They walk over them as they're like sleeping or passed out in front of, I almost said religious monuments because that's what they are like in this country. You know, D.C. monuments. I mean, that's very, to me, that feels very dystopian and creepy. And that's why, like, I just try to stay out of the whole promoting all troops and everything as heroes and rock stars and blah, 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 because I don't want to play, it has nothing to do with what I feel about them. I just I don't want to play into that game of, like, propping them up in that way just to, like, pull the rug out later because I know that they don't give a shit and that what exactly would happen with 9/11, not that it's all the same thing, but it's the same thing in the sense of how people are treated here after they do something that is what you think you're going to get, like, respect and healthcare for, but you're just not. So I don't even, it makes me not even want to, you know what I mean?
You know what I really like? I forget who started
up.
framing it this way. I think it was Pete Buttigieg, actually. He had this framing device that was so smart for freedom because the Republican Party kind of claimed the definition of freedom. We're the party of freedom. We're not the government in your way with all this stuff. And he was like, when you say freedom, freedom for who?
Yeah.
That's the question. Because someone who's has a pre-existing condition, someone that has insane medical issues that is just drowning in debt because of that, they're not free because they're just working towards that. How about someone who's marginalized in an area or something, or because of work or their orientation or something like that, they're not free. So when you say freedom, normally the definition of freedom, you think of like you have to have some sort of privilege to have access to the freedom that's being sold first. And that's a warped idea of what freedom is. And I thought that was such a refreshing take, and I really like that.
So what is freedom to him in his
view? So like freedom to marry.
Yeah.
Not saying gays can't get married.
Yeah.
There's no freedom in that. Where's the freedom?
Yeah.
The whole medical thing, like if you have health, if you're drowning in medical debt, there's no freedom. The freedom to start a small business and stuff like that. I don't know. He's obviously, I'm regurgitating a politician's lines, which I don't like doing.
It's okay, I'll forgive you just this once.
But just like I like the idea of that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I support Pete Buttigieg, but I'm just saying that's such a smart. That's why like, he's got a good a good energy. If he became the nominee, sure.
Who do you think? Like, if I know we should not be thinking who is, but if you had to guess, based on like in a poker way, just like who?
I
money on?
I want it to be Warren
over Bernie.
I think Bernie has become too divisive.
Yeah.
I think he got hurt really hard with this whole Bernie bro thing, and which is such. I've never really met an actual what is described like on the internet. All these Bernie bros. It feels like it was some sort of like created attack on him. That Bernie bros actually don't exist to the extent.
I've never met one either.
No, but the thing is,
I mean, I guess I believe people that they exist, but I've never met one.
Center-left people, privileged center-left people, like adopted this Bernie bro thing and ran for it because they wanted Hillary Clinton so bad.
Remember when center-left people equated Hillary Clinton with feminism?
Don't even get me started.
No, I gotta get you started. Yeah. This is the pod.
Yeah.
That was awkward.
She is a version. You know what? I will say this. Hillary Clinton is a version of feminism that has had its day in the past. She is actually a pioneer. She's a strong female politician that kind of came up in a very male-dominated atmosphere of Washington.
Yeah, and I agree with what you're saying.
Standing on the shoulders of someone like Hillary Clinton actually deserves a lot of respect. And it's the next generation now has to, like, we're standing on the shoulders of previous generations, but and she got out of the way a bit, and she kind of saw her time. She did 2016, it didn't work out, and she's not. And some people can say Bernie Sanders he's not getting out of the way. That argument's used against him, but I feel like his message.
Get out of the way?
That thing is, that's where I disagree with people who make that argument, because I feel like his message hasn't really. People don't really get what he's trying to say. Is like, no, the powers in the people here. We have to like stand up and start rioting to a certain point. So his era's not over yet. In my mind, his chapter hasn't ended. Where I feel like Hillary Clinton, her chapter has ended, and she's
in a way, I feel like his chapter kind of has ended, and it bums me out. And he's not like, I don't want there to be any misconception, just in case this pod goes viral. I'm not saying like he's a perfect person or anything like that. Like this honestly has nothing to do with even being a fan of him. This just has to do with like what I think step one has to be in terms of changing anything in the future. And that is like changing how what is happening with money. And I'm not smart enough to explain it, but
all we're trying to say is get all your news from podcasts. Don't listen to the media.
No, what I'm trying to say is like,
and donate to our Kickstarter.
The revolution, if you want to call it that,
yes.
that he started, and that a lot of people, even people I wouldn't consider liberal, are following.
He's definitely influenced.
Is so important that oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm losing everything I've ever. I'm losing it.
It's hot in the studio today.
Yeah, it's so hot, and I can't think, and I did not sleep last night. But okay, I shouldn't make excuses. Okay, I just can't. I'm not a good talker.
Bernie Sanders influenced the next generation. Someone like an AOC.
And so in that sense, I think he is kind of over, and because he doesn't do things perfectly about like the way he explains, like even just like when someone asked him about reparations, have a fucking clear answer, dude. If you don't have a clear answer, it makes it seem like it's not important to you. I'm not saying it's not important to you. Maybe you go home and think about it all the time. But like the way you talk about it makes it seem like maybe you didn't think about it. Yeah. And so that stuff is like deeply troubling to me. But his political revolution that he started is so important to me that it's like I just want that to win so bad, because it's something to hold on to, whereas like the other politicians, let's say someone is better with having like a perfect answer about race or reparations or something, it's harder, even if it's perfect sounding, it's harder to trust what they'll do. So that's why I want him, because there's like some baseline level of trust that he will do progressive things. Whereas other people, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
Was it Meet the New Boss, same as the old boss?
Yeah,
Teenage Wasteland, baby. The Who.
What do you think of Kamala?
She's just, I mean...
Do you like?
She
was fucking perfect in the debates.
She was, but she just seems like a run-of-the-mill politician to me.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't trust her at all. I don't, as much as I trust other politicians, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like now she's kind of walking back on the whole Medicare for all thing. Like, no. Mm-hmm. No.
Who is your second Bernie? I'm just curious how far up he is for
Bernie's my one, but he's like the ideal world would be Bernie, but that's not gonna. I just don't see it happening.
Even though he's the most popular.
I don't. I think the.
Or I guess he's not. I guess Joe Biden.
I don't believe that. I seriously don't. I seriously don't understand this.
The exact same thing is happening as last time. All of the liberal shows only talk about him.
And they won't say anything bad about him. They make jokes about
anything bad about him. They minimize all of the critiques, and they like if Biden and Bernie and Warren went on The View, like the differences that he gets is amazing. Like every fucking station has picked who it is, and it's Joe because they know the company knows that he will be the most friendly to them.
In that debate,
it is so sad.
That first debate, if it was anybody else, they would already be out of the race.
My God, he was such a loser.
Harris dunked on him. The way she dunked on him.
She dunked the whole time.
If he was anybody else, he would be destroyed. But the media, they want to keep him alive. They're like, oh shit, we got to keep him alive because he's the donor class's candidate.
I just can't believe
he literally said it. I
can't believe this is happening, but obviously I can.
He said it in a fundraiser. He goes, nothing will fundamentally change, and that literally is the message. And I think like that is the truest fucking thing.
Does anyone?
I've heard from his mouth.
I know I'm not like an expert pollster, and I'll be honest, I don't know that much about politics, but
yeah, we've talked for 41 minutes.
Does anyone see a problem with the fact that I know people like him more than Hillary? Like, they think he's cute and stuff, and they think he's more cuddly, and I do think, you know, fucking whatever. I don't want to talk about Hillary or Joe, but like what I'm trying to say is, does anyone have a problem with that? This is if Joe wins, that this is the same election as last time.
I think about that every time I think about politics.
Like, that's what I think about every single day. Yeah. Like, no one sees that this is almost the exact same election, and that you are so lucky that you have a fucking second chance that old ass Bernie is even running again. He could be just like chilling, and if he wasn't, Warren is. Like, you have a second chance, and if fucking Joe gets it, I swear to God.
I think Warren to me, Elizabeth Warren is the bet. I think Bernie Sanders is great. Bernie Sanders would make a great cabinet official too. I think like if Warren wins, Bernie's not gone. I think you put him in the cabinet somewhere, Treasury or some shit. I don't know. Maybe that's not the right one, but whatever.
Everyone disagrees with me, but I still think they should be one and the other one vice. Everyone's like, no, you can't do that because you need to have someone different. And I'm like,
no. As in like for the ticket?
Yeah.
But the vice president, it does nothing.
But things are different.
No, so the way I get what you're saying.
They can do what.
But the vice president literally has his only job is to like break a tie in the Senate. That is it. All he can do is like go.
Yeah, but if they're friends, the president will allow you to be more a part of it if you have a thing.
Look at someone like Dick Cheney, who basically ran the West Wing.
There you go.
But I don't know. I think Warren, and then she'll probably grab someone younger and Southern or something, or Midwestern. That seems like Midwest is the what everybody's
Isn't that
going
her
after.
Thing though? Isn't she from?
No, she's
Where's she from?
She's from Oklahoma, and I believe Oklahoma, and she's the senator from Massachusetts. She has Ted Kennedy's old seat, which was briefly Scott Brown or Mike Brown or somebody, I can't remember. Who was like a plague girl.
How long do you have to live in a state before?
I think you just have to have residency.
So you could just be there a year.
That's what Hillary Clinton was. The senator from New York.
Yeah.
She's not New Yorker.
But did she live here for years?
I think she got a house and then ran. I'm sure someone. I'm sure someone can tell us the right answer. I'm sure my answer's wrong, but like.
Did you ever want to go into politics?
No.
Never.
Never. It's so gross, and it feels like constant sales. It feels like I used to have a sales job. I used to sell musical instruments to like band and orchestral kids and like guitars and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And I had to sell. And so gross about it is when you're selling band instruments, you're not selling to the kids. You're selling to the parents.
Yeah.
So basically, when a kid will play shitty on a fucking saxophone, I'd always be like, oh, he has potential. You know, if you spend $2,000 on the saxophone, you actually save money because they can get a scholarship. So you're saving $20,000 by spending $2,000.
Oh my God,
but the kid, I can see
salesman.
That's what we're taught. That's what we're taught. And basically, politics is the like apex of that grossness.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, God no. My whole thing, I always wanted to be, when I was young, I wanted to be a film director.
Yeah, me too.
I loved movies, and I loved, I had never wanted to be an actor. I just loved how movies were directed.
Yeah.
I love like the feel of scripts, and like, I loved like seeing their words and thinking about how they said, and then like how the director told them, like, all right, now say it this way or something. You know?
I love directing. Have you directed things?
I have.
That's where I feel the most comfy, cozy.
Yeah.
I love it.
There's something so it's like it feels like you're the conductor of either like an orchestra or like you're like a general putting figures on a map.
I just like I like the way so like I love doing this pod. I love talking whatever, but it is like when you're talking on the fly, it's like you aren't exactly conveying perfectly how you feel and how you think, and so that is like challenging to me. But like directing is like the opposite. Like, not that I have a ton of experience, but like I never feel like I'm struggling to have an idea. It feels very like intuitive of how I think it should be, and because most things in life you don't have that clarity, like directing feels so good in that way.
Well, that's actually, you literally just
very powerful.
Listed the job of a director. A director is supposed to it's basically a communication job. You take a script and you're like, how do I communicate this? How do I visualize this? How do I communicate this mood? Maybe someone can be saying one thing, but they can actually feel another thing. And so the script can basically, in stage directions or something, like, you know, these two characters are uncomfortable with each other, and the director basically brings that to life. And there's something so, I love that aspect of it. I love watching a movie and just like seeing it like, ugh.
You're completely being the tastemaker of it, because it's like there's no directions how to do it. Like, you are deciding the mood you're creating, and you are making decisions to how to get that mood and how to create it. And so,
and there's different kinds of directions. There's a director that can, like, they're just trying to entertain you. Someone like a Michael Bay. Everyone shits on Michael Bay, but like, you go into those movies not seeing a piece. You go into those movies to see a popcorn blockbuster movie, and he does his action movies very well. Like,
is he like Batman?
Like the Transformers and like that type of dumb shit. Then you have someone like Steven Spielberg, who's like a mix between the two. He's kind of like a pop culture movie, but mixed with kind of artsy a little bit. Like, he can take artsy takes on stuff. You know, and you can see how he like blends both worlds and stuff like that. Keep entertaining, but also keep you involved. And you really kind of, he loves characters, which I'm a big fan of, like thinking things in sense of like characters. And then you have like art piece stuff.
And then you have David Lynch.
Or Francis Ford Coppola or something like that, or like Stanley Kubrick or even Hitchcock. You know, they're kind of like, they have genre. They play with it in that sense. I listed very pop culture-y directors, but like,
are you a David Lynch fan? I can't mention him and then not talk about him. Sorry world.
Yeah,
Sorry world.
Sure. Yeah.
Do you have like a movie that you
feels very like, hey, we're like, it feels kind of like when you go to like an art exhibit, like, I'm an artist.
Oh, I hate that.
You know what I mean?
Would feel that. I don't feel that way.
I don't feel that way like 100%, but like sometimes
you said
I get that.
Yeah. If that's the truth, that's your truth.
A lot of times, like with he's good, but a lot of times, like, I don't know. I'm trying to think.
Is there something that you saw that you liked a lot, or do you not remember them? Was it like a long time ago you've seen?
I should go back and watch a lot of.
Like, have you seen Blue Velvet?
I have not.
Oh my god, I think you would like Blue Velvet.
Maybe I'll assign myself some homework.
Because Blue Velvet is weird because it's David Lynch, so his characters are fucked up and they make you feel like your skin is crawling.
Yeah.
But it's like a good story.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's like palatable for people who like don't want to go to the art museum, because I'll tell you something. I never want to go to the art museum. But my favorite thing that he does is like the way he creates creepy thing. Like, the way he creates creepy atmospheres is like my favorite thing. It's like how aliens and Satan are my favorite thing. It's like the way he will create like a creepy ass fucking room, or just like a creepy vibe, or just a creepy character dynamic between people. Like, he is the king of fucking creep. And I really appreciate his like atmospheric, creepy, like, I
remember
just like that gross feeling.
I remember seeing like the Elephant Man.
I don't count that. That's like something else. That's something different. I don't count that or the not motorcycle, but what's that movie? He like has a movie where like someone goes across the world on a lawnmower.
Yeah, maybe
that's
maybe
like
I'm speaking before. Maybe I need to like, because I'm thinking a lot of just Twin Peaks and stuff like that. So maybe I need to like actually dive into his filmography. Especially, I just gave kind of a like jerk off whole thing about like directing and all that stuff.
Do you like Twin Peaks?
I think it's fine. It could be like, what I do like about it is like everything is not what it seems, and I like that idea.
Did you see the finale of the show?
No.
Oh my God, Joe, you have to watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the new episodes because I haven't even seen all those. I'm just talking about like the 90s 2-season show.
Yeah.
You gotta watch season 2. Shit gets real and shit gets weird. And it is like, I don't want to say it's ahead of its time because it was the 90s. So it was like pretty modern. But I'm just going to say it because it's not. How far did you get?
I think maybe the first season.
Okay, I'm just going to say it because I don't even know if you're going to watch it.
I'll watch it.
The way he dealt with, like, family abuse, like, the way he conveyed that for a TV show and made it into, like, this half real thing that happened, but also half mystical evil character that went into the dad's body was so fucking weird and good. Like, to me, it's the best TV show ever.
What are good shows to like rewatch?
Twin Peaks.
What's a show you have rewatched?
I'm doing.
Well, I'm definitely gonna watch Twin Peaks now.
I'm doing some Are You Afraid of the Dark episodes. I might have already mentioned that though. Just for fun, I rewatched in my early 20s. I rewatched all of Adventures of Pete and Pete. That's a very good show.
Oh my god, I used to watch that show all the time, and I remember nothing from it.
Oh, it's so good.
They're like twins, right?
No, they are brothers. They're different ages, but they have the same name. They're both named Pete.
That's horrible. Why would parents do that?
Well, you know, it is what it is. I haven't rewatched the whole thing, but I really love Family Matters. I'm like,
I watch a bunch of like Urkel clips from.
I love.
It's so funny because like
I love.
He's always playing to the studio audience. Like he'll like talk, but he'll be cheating out and kind of like look at the studio audience.
It's ridiculous.
And I'm like, this is such like a performative show, and I'm like, it works.
Yeah.
He did such a great job. It kind of every time he walks on set, he's literally good. You just know it's a set.
Yeah.
Like it breaks the whole world.
I also really loved Secret World of Alex Mack and Fresh Prince.
That's where she's the goo.
Yeah, she turns into the silver goo and she can goop around and she can move things.
She got hit by a truck, right?
Yeah, she got... Okay, so this is what I really... So, like, I love Fresh Prince because I love Will Smith. I thought he was hilarious. And so I'll watch, like, episodes randomly and it's a great time. But in terms of, like... Because obviously I'm going to always steer towards, like, whatever is, like, weird and makes fun of, like, government. But, like, Secret World of Alex Mack is, like, a indoctrination into, like...
Not trusting the government?
Yes, it's literally, like, this evil corporation that the town is ruled by. The truck is filled with this, I think it's called C14. It's like a chemical that is like illegal, but they're trying to do something creepy with it, and it's like on the DL. And they're transporting it into a truck, and he hits into something, and it gets everywhere, and it gets on her skin. So she knows if they find out it's her, they're gonna kidnap her. Because it's like they're evil corporation, so they're gonna kidnap her, so like the secret doesn't get out.
Yeah.
So she has to go into hiding in plain sight, which is just go back to her family and try to hide all of her powers. But like all of the innuendos in all the episodes is always making references to like evil government doing like experiments on its people and stuff. It's way too good for kids, but
I remember just like her going under a door or something.
Is
that in the intro?
She would do it all the time.
Yeah.
She would do it like almost every episode.
Yeah.
But I I mean, I didn't even know how good it was until I saw it when I was older because it was just very, I don't know.
I was thinking of watching Ozark. I know it's not an old show, but...
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Is it good?
It was like one of those shows that's like almost good.
Yeah,
which is like
I know
most
what you mean.
shows.
Which is most shows. I feel like all these Netflix shows look the same to me.
Yes,
they have the same.
They all blend.
They all blend.
They have a
like,
very similar vibe.
They're dark, but like they look like they're high production value, but really they're not. Yeah, they're just like high definition.
Kind of dark, kind of cool, but kind of dumb.
It's like like on a lot of it's on location.
Yeah, it was I think that it is a little telling that I like don't even know what to say about it. So that might tell you that it's like a little unnoteworthy. But
I think I'm gonna do Twin Peaks then.
Yeah,
because I haven't. That was like I saw it when I was very very young, and I thought it was like a little artsy. But yeah, I think I'm viewing it through my child.
Yeah, I mean at this point it's like cliche, so it's obviously when it gets to that level of relevant, it's like less cool. And I was lucky enough to like see it when I was young, so like no one was watching it when I watched it. No one was watching it, so it wasn't cool. Like I didn't have everyone's like opinion about it. Like I could just watch it nude with a naked brain. But then I feel like for our generation it became everyone's like go-to thing someone chose them in college. So then it was like,
like Python for comedy.
Yeah, it just became like cliche, like not, whatever. Yeah. But I fucking love it.
On that note,
has it been an hour?
It's been an hour. Hey,
it has been.
Donate to our Kickstarter.
Please send us to Area 51.
To reiterate, we're trying to go to Area 51.
Yeah.
To check out what's going on, to report on it.
Because we will tell you the truth, because we're not funded by a corporate media.
No, we're funded by you.
So
we are funded by you. So help us go to Area 51. Click on the link below to our Kickstarter to get us to go to Area 51 and report back for you.
Yeah, whatever we find, we will share, because it's not just for us, it's for everyone. The truth is out there, and we will get it.
And we'll share our journey and stuff like that, and hopefully we make some friends, some extraterrestrial friends along the way.
Thanks for tuning in, friends.